Look who showed up while I was away. Pro streamers right here. Fuck you. Most streamers start their stream a few minutes before the stream starts. So eat a dick. How's your pro streaming game? Somebody go to his channel and see how he's doing on his streams. Sheesh. Already show up and there's already some fucking salty piece of shit trying to sniff my fucking throne already? Trying to fucking sniff my throne already? I just started this motherfucker. Man. Good old Squeks the cat. Paul has a weed on his hat. No, I don't. I'm worried about the screen, about that screen in the background. What? What screen? What are we talking about? What's the problem? It's the goddamn problem. What's wrong with all of you today? What happened to my audience? Huh? Concern trolls. So what is this, early morning for you? Something like that, yeah, I guess. What is it for you? Actual midday? Your audience is garbage, Paul. Yeah, dude, you're the fucking leader of the garbage pack, too, Billy Goat. You fucking troll piece of shit. You're the rotten banana peel sitting on top of the goddamn garbage heap, my friend. Saw a guy who looks like a young you with a beard at Chipotle. It was me. I was at that Chipotle today. When you say which Chipotle, that one. The one that you're discussing right now. Any clues about tonight's DFF? No. Really? So it's been like thunderstorming out here all goddamn day. But hasn't rained. And now that I'm sitting out here trying to enjoy a little Highdeology time, it's gonna rain. Alright, maybe it's not actually gonna rain. Come on, just be a Louisiana quick rain. Yeah, that's right. Slow down, rain. Just be one of those crazy Louisiana couple of seconds of rain and then go away. Damn it. Come on. Took my headphones off and heard Paul's PC playing It's Okay if it's in a three-way. Really? What was I listening to when I left up there? Well, so far I'm not getting hit by a lot of rain, so maybe if this clears up in a second or two. Come on. Come on, rain. You know there's not enough of you up there to really fucking make a difference here. I am holding out hope. Because right now I'm under like the biggest tree canopy that we've got, so I'm only getting like a sprinkle here and there, you know? Even though it's raining pretty decent. But if it keeps up, that tree canopy is going to get wet, and then it's over. Then it's just going to drip on me. But, oh shit, it's slowing down. It's slowing down. It's slowing down. I think we might be good. I think my faith might have paid off today. I might be wrong, though. Because like I said, now that canopy up there is wet. So that's going to be dripping for a while. But as far as like the actual dumping ass, I think we good. You see, sometimes you just got to wait it out. There are lesser streamers. I'm telling you, there are lesser streamers that would have canceled this stream or moved it inside where the vibes aren't as good, but not this streamer. I've got the experience. Okay? I've got the experience to know when to call it and when not to call it, and this was not a time to call it. Not a drop. Not a drop. Dry as could be out here now. I did will it away. Proving once again simulation theory is a thing. Not a drop. In fact, the sun is creeping out. It's over. Is LeBron going to LA? LeBron? Are you cheating on your diet? I thought keto forbids added sweeteners. Keto forbids, like, carbs. So, hold on, let me just read. Total carb, 0 grams. Yep, can drink this. Sugary alcohols are usually fine. Yeah. I won't be cheating too hard in LA with the drinking. The cheating will happen with the eating in LA, but whatever, dude. It'll be a cheat week. Get right back on the horse. Do you get constipated on keto? Only if you don't eat enough fiber, which I try to. I get most of my fiber through jalapeno peppers, but whatever. Will there be any cheating with the sex? Say what? In my garage state of Missouri, it will rain for 2 minutes while the sun is still out. Yeah, that happens here too. I mean, basically happened just now. It's a little bit overcast, but the sun was still out and it was raining. But only for a few seconds, and then it just stopped. Cheat week? I don't know, man. Sounds like a bad idea. I mean, what am I going to do? I'm going to be going out of town. I'm going to be going to places where, you know, like I'll probably be visiting my mom. So you know there's going to be food there that's not diet food. I'm going to be visiting one of my favorite restaurants in the whole world and get clam chowder in a bread bowl. There's no way I'm not doing that. You know what I mean? So it's a vacation. It is what it is. Yeah, as long as as long as it ends with the vacation, And as long as I'm selective too, I'm not going to go overboard on the vacation. I'll try and eat keto most of the time I'm there, and then I'll cheat a few times when I really want to. Cheat at the meetup by drinking an overabundance of alcohol. And then when I get back into town, it's right back to the fucking grindstone. Nick wants to take us to get ramen where they have chicken ramen. Okay. Just cop some Blue Dream. I would share if I could, man. I would partake if I could. I mean, I'm fine with that. Look, it's whatever. Ramen is cool. You know me. I like some ramen as long as it's not the chashu ramen or whatever the fuck with big old slabs of fat ass pork on it. As long as it ain't that ramen, then I'm a happy camper. I mean, I'd prefer some pho, you know. I like me some pho better than I like store-bought ramen. We found somewhere that isn't just pork. Okay. Well, that's good. You don't like pho? Dude, I like pho. I'd eat some mussels and fries. Dude, I'm telling you, the place that we're going has the best fucking clam chowder in a homemade sourdough bread bowl that you'll ever eat. It's a transcendent experience that I think everybody should at least have once, but most people will never have. There's pho restaurant. Yeah, there was a lot of pho restaurants in Washington. Basically one every block. But here, I don't know. I don't see a whole lot of pho. I'm sure there's some. Wait, why is she in chat if she's in the house? Because she's upstairs and doesn't want to come sit out here where it's all humid and possibly raining again? You know? How's that? Is that explain it all? I don't like eating molluscoids. I don't know why, but your loss. Mollusks are some of the most deliciousest foods ever, man. The most deliciousest foods of all time. It's white chowder. It's white heavy cream chowder. It's the best, dude. It's the fucking best. It ain't no red chowder. It's none of that bullshit. White, chunky clam chowder in a toasted, homemade sourdough bread bowl. It's the best, dude. It's the best shit. You're eating 215 calories a day. You probably like burn that farting. So you'll definitely lose weight. I don't think you can live on 215 calories a day, but whatever. It's your diet, my friend. Ooh. I'd eat a blobfish for free, man. They're my kin. Can barely live on 215, so that's what I'm doing. Okay. Well, best of luck with that. Clam chowder. Clam chowder. People intermittently fast all the time. You can go without eating for weeks and lose tons of weight going through ketosis. Yeah, that's true. I'm going to look into the intermittent fasting shit. The decompression probably does something to the blobfish consistency. It's got to be a delicacy. Yeah, you know, maybe it's got to be like trapped and kept in a pressurized container and cooked like that. You know what I mean? Maybe it has to be cooked inside the container that it's trapped in so that it lives and never depressurizes. Has to be cooked alive inside of a special oven made specially for capturing blobfish in the deep sea. I live in Boston and we have the best clam chowder. I disagree because Boston is not where I'm going and I'm going to get the best clam chowder. So your bitch ass Boston clam chowder might be decent, but it ain't as good as the clam chowder that I'm getting. And before you say, but clams are indigenous to the area around Boston, going to a place called Pismo. Pismo is Spanish for clam. So I don't even want to fucking hear it. I want to hear it, you Boston motherfuckers. You've got the second best clam chowder in the world. The first best clam chowder is what I'm going to be eating in a few weeks. Whatever, boat night. Dude, if you had the meal that I'm talking about sitting in front of you, you would eat it up and ask for fucking seconds if you could fit it. You wouldn't be able to fit it, though. You'd be so goddamn full. Trust me. This is not your grandmama's fucking open a can of clam chowder and fucking pour it in a bowl and microwave it and serve it. Bullshit. No. Where is this clam chowder? I'm not telling you. No, it's at Pismo Beach, California, at a little shack called Splash. And when you go there for lunch, which is what I'll be doing, there will be a line out the door and around the corner to get into the place to order. And it will be worth every second that you spend standing in said line. I'm telling you, dude, I'm the same way. I'm not a huge seafood dude, but this clam chowder is something else again, man. Yeah, I'm sure they have a website, so those of you that are curious about the clam chowder I'm talking about can go take a look at the Splash website. The idea you had for CB trolling sounds hilarious. Hope you can actually do it, even though it's probably too much. Nah, I don't think it's going to be all that much work. I looked into it a little bit. I don't think it's going to be that tough. The problem is getting. I can't do it here. There's no point to setting up like I want a freestanding antenna, so I'd have to be renting a little house. So it might be down the road a piece when I can actually do it. What's really preventing me from doing it is the idea that I'll probably be living in an apartment next. Although I don't know, I might be able to swing a little house for me and Ashley, something big enough for just me and her. I don't know. I'm gonna have to look into it soon. But that being said, definitely be renting, so it'd be easier to have a house that I can set up just a freestanding CB antenna. I'm close enough to a lot of major thoroughfares that I'll definitely have enough traffic. I'm on their website. You can order fucking clam chowder and have it shipped to you. Yeah, I mean it's legitimate shit. People, like I said, the line when we go there will be around the corner of the store and down that street. And I'm gonna go stand at the very end of that line and wait. It moves deceptively fast. It'll be about a half-hour wait. And then I'm gonna order the clam chowder. And while I'm ordering, somebody will get up and finish their clam chowder from the inside because it'll be packed. And I'll send Ashley over to fucking commandeer the table. And by the time our chowder's ready, we'll have a table. And we're gonna eat it. See, I have this, I think people have asked me, do I have any rituals? And going to Splash is one of my rituals because it's totally against what I normally put up with. I usually hate places that are overly busy. I'll usually avoid a place if I see a line around the door. And I'll usually give up on the idea of trying to eat inside of a place if I walk into it and it's just full. You know, I'll just be like, well, we're just gonna have to take this to go and find somewhere to eat it. You know, that's normally what I do. But at Splash, I have this belief system. I go, I get in the line. The line always moves at a decent clip. I get inside. It's always full when I reach the door and can see inside. But by the time I order my clams, there will be a table. And it's always been true. Always. So it's my one breaking of that type of avoidance. And I never doubt it. I never freak out about it. I never get all like, you know, pissed off. Mm-mm-mm. It's like that at Schwartz's here in Montreal. Isn't there a Schwartz's? That's a deli, right? Pretty sure I went to one in Toledo. you shouldn't. You shouldn't have said where you were going because some people will be waiting there for you like weirdos. They're not. I didn't say what day I'm going. So if they want to camp out for fucking like 5 or 6 days at Splash waiting for me to show up, I'm fine with that. I also didn't say which Splash I'm going to. The one down on the beach is my favorite place to go, but if it's fucking too crazy, then we'll just go to San Luis Obispo and get the Splash there. It's the same shit. No, I'll be staying in southern and central Cali this trip. Kind of weighed our options. I was thinking about San Francisco, but I really want something way more chill this time, so I chose my favorite place to go and lose myself, which is the beach. So I'm gonna go chill on the beach for a few days, go see my mom. It'll be a nice, relaxing kickback vacation. A much needed reboot for all of us, I think. I know I'm in need of one for sure. Yep, 24-hour show is this Friday, starting at noon. So noon Friday to noon Saturday, the 24-hour show. My life from tonight after the patrons only show will be completely dedicated to pulling bullshit for that 24-hour show. That's my life. So you guys have just been introduced to my life. You gonna be offline for your trip? No. Um, to be quite honest with you, the people that'll see the most of me on the trip will be $10 patrons of Deep Fat Fried because I'll be doing some behind the scenes streams and shit. I'll probably do at least a couple of these for the public, so you guys will see me. I'll make some content for the patrons, the buffet $5 and up patrons. So there'll probably be a patrons only, you know, $5 and up Highdeology. Maybe a behind the scenes green room stream for the $10 people from the show. Maybe a stream before the show for everybody. I don't know. So I guess the answer is no, I won't be offline, but I will be taking extended breaks from online. I missed you at the last DP meetup in Seattle. Ironically enough, I found myself out there the weekend you were moving. I'm destined to miss meeting you apparently. Yeah, that sucks, dude. That's really weird because like there was a dude me and Ashley went down to Seattle one time and I announced it here on Highdeology. I was like, you know, we're gonna go down there, so anybody that's local wants to come meet us. And a couple of people actually showed up. A couple, a dude and a chick, and we were wandering around together, having a good time, smoking weed and stuff. And we went to this little like curiosity shop that's down right on the pier. And this dude was coming out of it, and he looks up and he's like, "Holy shit, Paul's ego!" And I was like, "Yeah, dude." I was like, "Did you see my Highdeology? Did you come down here to try and find us?" And he was like, "No, man." He's like, "I'm just a fan. I'm in town for a training." He was a Canadian dude, and he was there for some kind of corporate training for whatever job he works. He's like, yeah, man, I was in town for a training. I was just down here fucking around. I didn't even know you were here, dude. I was like, oh, yeah. So that was a weird little bump. I was out there actually meeting people and accidentally met somebody. So he walked around. He walked around with us for a little bit, chilled with us, and then went his separate ways. Using the internet as a reward instead of a habit feels really nice. Well, I don't know what that feels like, but I'm sure it does. Pessimist Productions and porn is all I have to watch anymore. Well, I mean, but what else is worth watching? You're lucky. You're one of the few, the proud, the brave that knows about Pessimist Productions. Think about all the poor plebs out there consuming other media. Think about them. Sex on the Beach, your thoughts? Dangerous. Yeah, I don't really like it. Because if sand gets in the vagina, that's a bad thing. And it's so easy. Like, sand gets everywhere. It's rough and coarse, and it gets everywhere. I hate sand. It's rough and coarse. It gets everywhere. Pessimist Production porn confirmed. When? Where? Who? You should do a Sandcastle stream. What's oh yeah, I'd make a pretty killer Sandcastle, dude. You know what I'm best at making on the Sandcastle though? I'll let you guys guess. See if you can guess what Paul's ego does best with the Sandcastles. I'm a Sandcastle engineer, dude. Already? The moat. Absolutely, with the bridge over it. I do a moat with actual bridges over it that you can, like, that water can go underneath all the way around. Oh, hell yeah, dude. Oh, hell yeah, I know how to do that shit. I know how to do that shit. The moat. I'm a badass moat maker. You got a sandcastle needs a moat? I'm the guy you want to call. I'll put bridges over your moat. Now, it won't be a drawbridge because it's a goddamn sandcastle, but it'll be a bridge. There'll be a bridge over your moat that you can knock down if the enemy attacks. You know what I mean? Water goes underneath the bridge. I can make as many bridges as you want on that moat. I can give you 4 bridges. One for each entrance to your castle. I'm your moat maker. I'll even fill the moat with water for absolutely nothing. I can make a leaning tower that doesn't fall. I mean, it won't be able to be super heavy and it won't be able to have a very pronounced lean, but I can make a little leaning sand structure that won't fall. Can you make a bridge for your bridge? Sure. Yeah, TJ will definitely try and stomp my sandcastle. He's a piece of shit. He's a piece of shit. Paul, thine patronus is a blobfish. Yeah. Expecto Patronus. Do you think you could beat TJ in a fight? Probably not. I mean, I don't know, but probably not. I would say probably not. TJ's got like reach on me. He's got height, size on me. Probably wouldn't end well for me. I was just thinking about the Dementors today. Terrifying creature concept. Yeah. What do they do again? They like suck out your soul or whatever, or your joy. What is it that they like feed on? I can't remember. It's been a while since I've read the books and seen the movies. Your soul. All right. They eat all your happiness. So yeah. Oh, by the way, those of you that are fans, go to J Dark's channel because tomorrow, in the, I don't know exactly when it'll be. I think it's in the afternoon sometime. I will be on J Dark's podcast. Pull the trigger. Yeah, I'm gonna pull the trigger on that whole fucking place. I don't know if Taylor's gonna be there too. All I know is that I'm gonna be there with bells on. Where do you see yourself in 20 years? And is that too personal a question? I don't think there's anything personal about that question. It's just not a question I have an answer to. I don't know. That's always been my answer to that question. I have no fucking clue what I'll be doing in 20 years. I mean, there's a good chance I'll be dead in 20 years, so. Yeah, I just read your DM. So. How does the aftertaste of diet soda not make you sad on the inside? I actually like diet soda. I'm fine with it. I started liking it when I was a teenager because my dad was fat and he was trying to lose weight, and his answer to losing weight was diet soda. When he went out to fast food, it was diet soda. And I started drinking it because I wanted to be like my dad and lose weight. And I developed a taste, especially for Diet Coke. But pretty much any diet soda I can hang with. I usually put hopefully alive as an answer to those kind of questions. What? Do you think you will die contented or with regret? I don't know. I mean, everybody dies with some regrets, right? I haven't heard Drake's new album, so I couldn't tell you. I can drink diet soda if I'm dying of thirst and there's nothing else to drink. To each his own. Ever considered telling your story about Irwin here, the coffee shop customer that went from asshole to friendly? I think I've talked about Irwin on Highdeology before, but yeah, that's a good story. Not necessarily a funny story, more kind of a tearjerker, kind of a sad story, you know. Do tell. All right, I'll tell you guys the Irwin story. Give me a sec here. Let me get some tobacco going. We'll talk a little bit about Irwin. So, when I worked at Starbucks, um, I transferred from Arizona to Fresno when I moved back to California. And then once I was here, I transferred to a new store after about 6 months. And when I got there, immediately when I introduced myself to all the people that had been working there for a while, they all came up to me individually and warned me about a customer named Irwin, who was an old man who was crabby and crotchety and never satisfied with his fucking drinks and a total asshole to everybody, and nobody liked him. And just to make sure, whatever, he's going to make you remake his drinks. And I had this, like, the customer service aspect of Starbucks was something I took very seriously because it was the one thing at the place that I was really good at. The gift of gab and all that. So I told them, I was like, dude, I'm going to turn him around. And they just laughed. They were just like, oh, whatever, dude. Whatever. That's never going to happen. You don't understand. And I was like, no, 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 no. I'm going to turn this dude around. And it wasn't long after I started working there that I had my first run-in with Irwin, and it was everything everybody told me it was going to be. He ordered his drink. I don't even remember what it was now. Ordered his drink. I made it perfectly fine. Handed it to him. It was wrong. Can't remember what it was. Too much foam. Not enough foam. Too sweet. Not sweet enough. Whatever it was. Handed it back to me to be remade. Now, I didn't roll my eyes. I didn't betray any anger. I apologized profusely, and I said, oh, let me get it right this time for you. And I made it. He didn't thank me for it. He was still pissed off when he left, grumbling about how his time had been wasted. But now I knew his drink. So, see, for me, that's a victory, because now I know what he drinks, which means that when I see Irwin in the morning standing in line, grumbling to himself and getting ready to blow up at me, I can make his drink. So when he gets up to the counter, I'll be like, hey, Irwin, here you go, sir. And he doesn't have to wait. I started doing that. Did it help? No. No, not at all. He didn't even seem the least bit happy about getting it early. In fact, at one point, he accused me of rushing it. So he was getting his drink quicker than he'd ever gotten it before. But when he handed it back to me wrong one time, he said, you need to stop rushing this. I was like, all right, sorry about that, sir. I'll get it taken care of for you. Anyway, I started to notice a pattern about Irwin. Irwin would come in, order his drink, and then sit down outside and smoke a cigarette. Read the newspaper every day at around the same time. Now, I was an opener, and he would come in the mid-morning, which means it was around the time for me to take my break. So I decided that I was going to go try and make friends with Irwin on my break. I saw him sitting out there, and I was a smoker too. I went out there, and I walked up to him, and I said, excuse me, sir. And he looked down over his paper, and I said, I'm on my break. Would you mind if I join you here at the table and read my paper too? And he just kind of nodded. He was just kind of like, went back to reading his paper. We didn't say a word to each other, but he let me sit with him. He let me sit with him. That's when I knew it was over. So that became a routine. Every day that I was working at the time that Irwin came in, I'd go, take my 10-minute break with him. There was a lot of times where we sat there and didn't say anything to each other, but we slowly but surely started talking. At first, it was about like current events, what was in the newspaper and shit. He would grumble and bitch, and I assume he was just doing it to himself. But I would respond, and he'd respond back to me. So that was an in-joke, or an inroad for me. But the real inroad was humor, because one day he told me a cheesy joke, and I don't even remember what it was. He was a fan of the really cheesy, like dad jokes to the extreme. Like one-liner, dad jokes, super cheesy, super run-of-the-mill, super fucking, you probably heard them a million times type of jokes. And he told me this joke, right? And it wasn't funny. That's why I don't remember it. The joke he told me was not funny. But he busted a gut looking at my face. When he got to the punchline and delivered it, he immediately started laughing at his own punchline. And then when he saw me going, he laughed even harder. He loved groaners, cheesy jokes that everybody's heard. He loved wasting people's time with that shit. So that became our thing. I looked a bunch up online, and I'd tell him a joke, and he'd be like, oh, he'd tell me the punchlines on that. Oh, I already heard that one. I got that one. He used to print them out. He had a whole file of them printed out. When he found one on the internet, he would print it out and put it in his file. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, I've got that one already. You know what I mean? So I was always trying to find one he didn't know. Pretty soon, he started telling jokes to the rest of the people at the store. So instead of being a crabby fuck, he would come in and be like, he'd tell a joke. People didn't know what to do. He was still crabby. He'd still take his drink back, but he'd also, like, every once in a while he'd be like, "Hey, did you hear the one about the priest and the rabbi or whatever the fuck?" Right? They didn't know what to do with it. At the same time, he started opening up a little bit about himself to me in our little lunch meetings, right? I would take my lunch break. I'd go sit with Irwin, and instead of jokes this time, it would be a story from. He told me how I found out he was a war veteran was he told me one of his favorite moments. We were talking about jokes. One of his favorite moments was most memorable things was he saw Bob Hope do a USO tour when he was in Korea. He saw Bob Hope live when he was on the ground in Korea. So I learned he was a Korean war vet. He talked about his family. He was kind of estranged from his family. He had 2 sons that he didn't talk to that lived, miles and miles away. And I pretty much found out why he was the way he was. He was just a lonely old dude who didn't have anybody to talk to. And when he gained that in Starbucks, the Starbucks that I worked at, he became a nice dude. People came and went from that Starbucks all the time. And there was a time at that Starbucks where I would tell people this story and they wouldn't believe me because Irwin was such a sweet old dude. They'd be like, "No way." Be like, "No, Irwin's a fucking asshole. He's just not an asshole here. He likes us." But that was his spot. He was always kind of infrequent. He would go several weeks without coming in, and then he'd show back up. And then one time he went a really long time without showing up. And one of the other customers that I would sit with for a while brought me the newspaper one day and said, "I don't know if you guys have seen this." It was his obituary. He had passed away. So we made him like a little shadow box. I think that's what it's called, that you hang on your wall. It's like a I don't know what it, like a picture, but it's thicker so you can actually put things in it. It's like a display box. And we put a mug in there for him that we all signed, and a cup that had his favorite drink marked on it, and pictures that we had all taken with him, and we sent it to his sons, and with a letter telling his sons, because he was estranged from his sons when he died, telling his sons how cool it was to get to know him. So that's the sad, no punchline Irwin story. Do you remember the drink? I don't remember what his drink was, unfortunately. It's been a long time ago. I don't know how they handled the gifts. We sent it to them, and I never heard back from them, so they might have just thrown them in the garbage. I don't know what kind of estrangement was going on between them. I don't know how much they hated their dad or whatever, so. Thanks for telling the story, man. You guys gave Irwin some life fuel. Well, whatever. He had a good time telling us shitty jokes. I'll tell you that much. He used to print them out. We had a stack of them in the back. Our store manager, the manager of the store I was working at the time, made a binder of them and just kept them back there. It's Irwin's jokes.
Bob Hope, you must have gotten that from him because Bob Hope had like file cabinets full of jokes and shit.
Yeah, that might have been. He really admired Bob Hope. A lot of the groaners he would tell were Bob Hope jokes. So clearly that resonated with him when he was a young man in Korea, seeing that dude. But you never would have knew it when he first started coming in, man. He was just a total fucking grouchy asshole. Everybody hated him. He's a total prick. But spent a little time with the dude, got past that shell, and turned out he was just a lonely old dude. Liked jokes. He liked puns too, but he didn't use them a whole lot. He liked
the master of the fucking terrible puns.
Yeah, you've told me some of your dad's
I've
puns.
inherited some of it, but really he was the master. He'd do like rapid fire, like 10 bad puns in a row, and just like, "Oh, stop."
No more, please. I missed a super chat.
Whenever we had a steak, whenever we went to a steakhouse and he ate a steak he didn't like, he's like, this was a mistake.
Oh, God, man, no. Oh, neat. I get it right here as the story ends. FML. Dude, you can rewind it later and go watch it. You didn't miss shit. Did you consider changing your name to Blobfish Jones? Sure. I actually kind of like that. I did tell you guys on Highdeology the other day that me as a visible performer on these is over. Like, the days are numbered, man. I'm replacing my presence on Deep Fat Fried with a blobfish. I'm gonna be a blobfish from now on. I'm becoming one of those guys. Those guys that isn't a face, that's just a cartoon character. I've decided, TJ. I'm retreating. The public has been too crude with me as far as my appearance goes. And I, as a performer, cannot continue to give them the highest quality entertainment while I'm being barraged with insults. So you know what? I remove the object of their scorn from them. I'll give them a symbol of my sadness and my misanthropy. The blobfish, the humble blobfish, ugliest of God's creatures. That is what you'll look at. You haven't seen shit. Fake news. All these pictures of this bearded fat fuck that you're saying is me. I don't know who that is. And quite frankly, I'm offended by the concept. I'm a blobfish.
All praise the mighty Blobfish. I pulled a shit ton of commercials from all eras for that stuff.
Cool. Scotty's doing
He's doing like
stats
about sales and shit.
Cool. Yeah, we should be good. I pulled 8 pages worth of nonsense.
Yeah, I mean yours alone probably we could do a show out of. So, but I'll just cue the commercials so that we can show them when we're done talking about each place. We can show like their commercial history. Some of them don't have as much of a commercial history as others.
Yeah, that's true.
But,
So are we gonna argue and pick a winner, or how are we gonna do this?
I don't know.
Are we just gonna present it?
I mean, maybe we'll talk about our own personal opinions of it and shit.
Yeah.
What we prefer.
Can blobfish be kept in an aquarium? It'd have to be a pressurized tank. They're deep sea fish, so they can't survive at normal water pressures. So it'd have to be a super dark tank that was ultra pressurized. In other words, no.
At least not for a household. I mean, maybe.
I mean, I'm sure you could if you wanted to, if you're a billionaire and you wanted, like, that would be a really cool tank to have for a billionaire, to get a deep sea tank that's like pressurized so you can see all those weird anglerfish and shit. Turn off all the lights and all the like bioluminescent fish, you can see them. That'd be really cool. The problem with that though is like everything in the deep sea eats everything else in the deep sea. Like anytime one thing runs across another thing in the deep sea, one of them eats the other. So it'd be really hard to keep a deep sea aquarium that has all the cool fish in it, because all the cool fish in a deep sea aquarium eat each other. Dude, I love that horror story that I read about somebody's saltwater aquarium, about the bobbit worm that they found in it. That's such a creepy story, too. It reads almost like a creepypasta. This dude had this fucking tank, right? Really, really upscale aquarium. Like, I'd really love to have one at one point if I could afford to pay somebody to upkeep it for me, because saltwater tanks are a fucking nightmare. This dude has this really high quality, like, fucking saltwater tank with beautiful fish in it, right? And everything's going great. His fish are thriving. All the pH balances are perfect. He's keeping it nice. They're all thriving in there. They look great. He posts a bunch of pictures of them. They all look awesome. And then he's like, and then one day I was looking at my fish and I noticed that one of my big specimens was gone. And there were no bones. There were no chunks of meat. There was no sign that the other fish turned on it or that it had died and the other fish turned on it. And he was like, it was just like the creepiest thing, but I just assumed it had died and the fish had fed on it. Well, the next day, the same fucking thing happened. One of his big fish gone out of the tank. Nobody knew, like, he couldn't figure out how it was happening. So he set up a night vision camera at night. And what he caught on the camera was like something out of somebody's nightmare. A fucking bobbit worm the size of your arm was coming up out of the fucking shit at night and waving around in the air. And when one of these fucking fish would come near it, it would just and pull them underneath the fucking sand and eat them. He got in there. He had to pull all his fish out, put them in a holding tank, and he pulled a 6.5-foot bobbit worm out of the bottom of his fucking tank that had probably been living in there and eating the bait fish that he threw in for the other fish to eat at night. Oh my God, dude. I don't even know how to deal with that shit, man. That's horrible. And they piggyback in on other fish. Their eggs are like little spores. So they attach themselves to the scales of fish and then fall off in the sand somewhere. So some specimen that he bought had a bobbit worm in the tank and had an egg on it. Brought that egg back to his. Egg went in and started eating little bits of chunks of food and then eating the bait fish at night. And when it got big enough, it started snagging the fucking big fish. That's horrifying, man. So, fuck a saltwater tank. I can't deal with that shit.
Too much.
Dude, go look up a bobbit worm, too. They're fucking nasty.
Yeah, they're pretty creepy.
They've got, like, these, like, mandibles on each side of their mouth, like, that are hooks, that are just, like, they stick straight out like this, and they just...
Like a predator mouth.
Yep. They're like graboids, yeah. They do kind of look like graboids.
Water graboids.
Would you eat one? I don't know what a bobbit worm would taste like. If it was good eating, I'd try it, I guess.
Probably not too tasty.
How big aquariums deal with them? They probably just have to drain the tank routinely and change out the sand and shit. But like major aquariums are probably really careful about cleaning the specimens that they put in so they don't transfer anything. So specimens are probably put in a holding tank and cleaned to the best of their ability of any kind of contaminants that they would bring into the ecosystem. Because like keeping a fucking saltwater tank is all about maintaining an ecosystem. You want a certain healthy level of algae in the tank. You know what I mean? If it's not healthy, then the water just turns brackish and gross and the fish can't live in it. So you've got to keep the pH balance just right. You got to keep the ecosystem fully fucking contained. Oh yeah. Check out Squeks. Check out Squeks, the tree climbing cat. Familiar with a remora? Yeah, remoras are like sucker fish, right? That stick on to like bigger animals in the ocean, like sharks and whales and stuff, and like they're basically like leeches but fish, right? It's a remora. You still get visits from the bitch from your latest moving story. What? We don't live there. You missed the moral of that story. So no.
Nah, she comes by all the time.
Yeah, she stops by all the time to apologize.
And bring us vodka.
Yeah.
We're still close friends. You know, even though we had that nasty business, you know, we still like each other as people.
Right. Paul, you're given a device that can only play the Garbage Pail Kids movie. However, every time you watch it from beginning to end, you get $30. How many times in a row would you watch it? None in a row, but I'd probably watch it like, I don't know, once a day. I mean, at the end of the week, that's what's 7 times 30? That's like $210 a week.
Yeah.
Free and clear. I'll just make it my go-to-sleep movie, you know? Right before I go to bed, when it's time to start winding down, I'll put on the Garbage Pail Kids on my device, make another $30. $210 a week. Yeah, cool $900 a month. Can't beat that shit with a big stick. That's a bigger apartment for me when I move out of this place or something. A nicer little house somewhere. Give me that device. I'll torture myself. Do chairman of the board on the next Cinema for Cynics. It's on YouTube.
All right.
Chairman of the board, dude. Dude, we should do Cool as Ice as well for the patrons.
Yeah, we can do that. Cool as ice. Why not?
Please don't. Oh man, no, no. You don't understand, man. We've got to scrape the bottom of the barrel on Cynics versus Cinema, or else what are we doing?
Yeah, I mean, like, that's the point.
I want to find some more like independent movies, like Evil Cat too, like deep indie VHS transfer movies. You know, something that's got that level of fucking quality.
Gross shit. Ugh. Garbage Pail Kids.
Will you ever become a hitman? No. I don't have those skills. I don't have that particular set of skills.
I heard that show Barry is supposed to be pretty good.
What?
You know that show about the hitman who, like, goes to LA, tries to become an actor or whatever?
Barry?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's an HBO show. A lot of
Hmm.
people say it's really good.
Maybe I'll check it
I
out.
was thinking about checking it out.
I'm still finishing up the Sopranos. I'm going real slow this last season because I don't want it to end. So I'm watching like one show every 3 days or some shit. It's really good, but it sucks that it's ending. I guess it's better that it ends while it was fucking amazing. Didn't stick around to start sucking.
What you at now?
Like I don't know, a little more than a quarter of the way through the last season's like 2 seasons long, so
Yeah, it's like almost like there's an extra season in it.
so I'm not that far into it yet.
Yeah, I was watching it, but I decided to stop and wait a while and then start from the beginning.
The first episode of the 6th season, the first 2 episodes of it are some of the most brilliant television I've ever seen. Like, some of the most brilliant television I've ever seen has happened over the course of the 6 seasons I've watched of the show. It's just a great show. Easily one of my favorite shows of all time at this point.
Yeah, Paul ain't even a show guy.
I don't like TV shows usually, but when I like them, I like them. Usually HBO shows can land me because I feel the same way about Deadwood. Deadwood was just like a transcendent show for me.
That only lasted like 3 seasons.
4, or no, you're right, 3. No, it's 4. It's 4.
I'm not sure.
It's 4. But yeah, it ended abruptly too because the show was supposed to keep going, but HBO pulled funding because I guess it just wasn't doing as well as it should have been. But man, it's just such a brilliant fucking show. I tried to watch it with Ashley though. I guess maybe I think what made it a little inaccessible is that people use genuine American lingo and American accents from that time. So it sounds very highfalutin and hoity-toity. Even like the dirty bums are like, sound a little bit ennobled by the way that people spoke back then. But they were very, very careful to follow the speech patterns that were known from the time that that show takes place in. So, you watch a movie like Tombstone or Unforgiven. They're great films, but the way that people would have spoken back then, totally different than the way that they speak. It's a modernized version.
Right.
They don't do that in Tombstone. In Tombstone, everybody's got a really great vocabulary. It's got a very like,
You mean in Deadwood?
sorry, Deadwood, yeah. You can hear like the influence as you would have in the old west times of England still. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's really fun to listen to, but I watched a few episodes with Ashley, and she didn't like it. She felt like she couldn't follow it. because the language was so weird. So, I don't know. Not for everybody, but fucking Deadwood is brilliant.
I like Deadwood.
Deadwood hired that child porn owning actor from Ferris Bueller's Day Off after the scandal. Oh no! Oh no, dude, not an actor with a dark past. Whatever will I do? I guess I hate that show now. Who cares? What movie, game, and album would you say you've rebought the most times? Rebought. I don't know. I've owned like probably 3 or 4 or 5 different versions of Night of the Living Dead over the years in various forms, VHS to fucking DVD to special edition DVD. So probably that for the movie. Music. I don't know, man. I repurchasing albums is something that I used to have to do if you fucked up your CD. So I'm trying to think like what album it was that I could have possibly had to repurchase the most. I don't know. Video games, it's probably NBA Street 2 or whatever it was. Because I sold that one and bought it back, sold it again, and then ended up buying it back way later. So that's twice I went and rebought that game. Yeah, I've owned probably a few copies of Lateralis, so that'd probably be it. I bought the first copy of that on a field trip for drama while I was in high school. And I've probably purchased it 3 or 4 more times as I've either lost or worn out the discs. Yeah, I sold NBA Street 2 the first time because my friend Brian kept beating me at it. So I just took it out of the thing and took it straight to GameStop and sold it. Took a huge loss on it. So I bought it for full price when it was new, 59 bucks or whatever. Took it there and they gave me $20 on trade-in, but whatever. I got rid of it and then I missed playing it, so after my salt died down, I went and repurchased it and ended up reselling it again. Not out of salt, just out of getting tired of it. But yeah, that was some bullshit. It was some bullshit because the tables turned in a really unpleasing way on me. Because when we started playing, I just dominated him because I was way better at the game. But he figured out the problems with my game over getting beaten a few times, and then started beating me. And then once I couldn't beat him anymore, it was just a matter of time before that game got broken or sold.
We should make a movie and we cast it all with fucking Me Too people.
Call it Redemption.
I don't even know what we call it.
Just write like a crazy, redemption story and have it star all these fucking actors that have wangled.
Yep. Starring Kevin Spacey and that guy from Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Yep.
And who else? I don't know.
Louis C.K.
Louis C.K. will be in it. Andy Dick will be in it.
Yep.
Just be a fucking.
We'll get Harvey Weinstein to produce from jail.
Yep.
He'll be.
It'd be great.
I can't wait.
Howdy. What up, faggots? How you doing? Fuck Paul, he's dead. Yeah, dude. Louis C.K.'s wangle is such a fucking joke. I don't know why the fuck he even left. It's like, no one gives a shit. So you flopped your dick out. Big deal. I don't care. I'd pay to see him. I'll fucking watch Louis C.K. He's one of the greatest stand-ups of all time. I give a shit that he fucking waggled his dick. No, I don't. I don't care. It's not for me to care. He's a dick wangler. Big deal.
What about your dick?
I was just defending Louis C.K.
Oh. We can get what's his
I don't give a shit that he fucking whacked his dick out.
We get what's his name, the senator too. He was an actor, comedian.
Oh,
Al
yeah,
Franken. Yeah. Get Al Franken.
Yeah, we'll get them all together.
Who else, dude? There's been a bunch.
Dustin Hoffman.
Yeah, Dustin Hoffman's got to be in it.
Bill Cosby's in prison.
Whatever.
Maybe we get him to like record some lines over the jailhouse phone or something.
Why not? Sounds pretty brilliant to me.
He can be the narrator. All the Wanglers in one place. The greatest film of all time.
We can do anything by working with each other. We can do anything by working with each other.
Do it, Paul.
Dude, we missed one, TJ. It's got to be in the movie. Now, people have accused me of some very dark things. Morgan Freeman, dude.
Oh yeah, Morgan Freeman. Yeah. Morgan Freeman's gotta be.
Morgan Freeman.
Is that Dick Charlie Rose or whatever the fuck?
He's not an actor.
Oh, you can have him be on a fake news.
Yeah, he can do an interview or something, yeah.
And that other fuck. What's that other anchor that got in trouble? Matt Lauer or whatever the fuck.
Matt Lauer. Oh yeah, Matt Lauer. Yeah, he could be in there. He could be in there too.
Yeah. I am. What is it? Yeah, that's not good.
It looks good. I haven't had it yet.
Go ahead and make it up.
I already did.
Oh, okay.
It's ready.
We can do anything by working with each other.
La, la, la.
I woke up singing that song. That was the first thought in my awake mind.
Man, I just fucking put a gun in my head.
Well, if I had one, I probably would have.
We can do anything.
I literally just said, fuck my life.
We can get Maynard to do the soundtrack.
Yeah, dude. Maynard can come on there and do it. Get him back with Twiggy, they can fucking be a perfect couple again.
Yeah, both of them are Wanglers, aren't they? Yep.
All the Wanglers together.
Yeah, dude. Wanglers. You seen Ted Nugent on Joe Rogan? Hilarious. Nope.
I saw some of it.
Who's the highest right now at the gathering, Paul? I don't know. I haven't. Is there a chart we can fill out?
Probably you. I think you've been smoking.
Maybe.
Or the
We
longest
can do
today.
anything by wangling with each other. Maybe we remake the Garbage Pail Kids movie with those guys.
Absolutely.
That is really what they've become, is the Garbage Pail Kids, man.
They're going to the state home for the Wanglers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stay home for the Wanglers.
What the fuck, man?
God, that movie is a nightmare.
I'd rather watch Louis C.K. jerk off.
Me too.
Grab your can, grab your lid, 'cause you can be a Garbage Pail Kid. Do you know your neighbors, Paul? Nope. I live in America. We don't know our neighbors here. Holy fuck, Jim. Paul's sitting on the stream. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Wow. Holy shit. It's It's had a moment. What am I looking at? What am I staring at here, chat? We've devolved into total fucking nonsense, chat. Let's bring it together. Let's bring it together, chat. Come on. Paul, when...
Message for the chat.
Oh, yeah? What's that?
They can do anything by working with each other. You know, you guys need to get it together.
Yeah, you guys gotta fucking... Take a look at yourselves right now. Pull your shit together, for fuck's sake. You're embarrassing right now. And everybody can see it, too. Live chat replay is a thing on these now, so everybody can see this embarrassing nonsense that you're leaving behind for the world.
Your stupidity is being immortalized.
Why? Why would you allow that to happen? You're not embarrassing me. You're embarrassing yourselves. It is your stupidity that is being enshrined for the ages. The chat is not... Right now, the chat's not an agent of chaos. Right now, the chat's just a sewer.
A sewer of inane bullshit.
Like, you guys don't get to dress it up and make it edgy by calling yourselves the agent of chaos. No, 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 no. No, this is just tism. Pure, unadulterated.
I'm an agent of Tesla.
The chat says what Paul is actually thinking. That is so untrue. That's so untrue. I'm scared of getting blocked. I'm not blocking people today. It's been a relatively block-free day. I'm in a good mood. I'm just saying. YouTube recommended you, and I can't understand why. Man, who fucking knows, man? I'll tell you this. They have delivered you a curse. Because look at this chat. They've delivered you a curse, my friend. You should walk away from this place and ne'er return, because if you do, you'll be like us. You'll be like us. This stream is cursed. All ye who enter here be cursed. I don't know if Philly D is nice in person. I've never met Philly D. Jesus, man. Even after my heartfelt pleas to you, the chat is still unreadable. Funny how Highdeology is the only thing YouTube doesn't seem to have blacklisted, and it's probably the most non-family friendly. Yeah, I know. Whatever, it's YouTube, man. The most bass-ackwards of platforms. I'm sure it won't last. I'm sure eventually another video of mine will get flaggedy-flagged for no goddamn good reason. Anyway, my battery's dying. It's time to go. I'll see you guys later. Bye.